believe the Common Core state standards really represent international standards that we believe our children can not only achieve but excel and exceed beyond. And it's exciting because to me, what we're going to talk about tonight goes to the fundamental purpose of public education. And the fundamental purpose of public education is to ensure high levels of success for every child in this country, in this state, and for me, in this town. That's what's most important. And how do we do that? We do that with powerful expectations for teaching and learning. The Common Core state standards are representing new standards for teaching kindergarten through grade 12 literacy, grade 6 through 12 literacy in science, social studies, and technical subjects, and K to 12 mathematics. That's what we're talking about. We have a plan that we've already initiated. We've done district-wide training for principals, and we actually have a curriculum review team right now working on English and math, but in the room we have library media specialists, we have social studies, and we have science. Literally tomorrow, I have 50-plus educators coming together working on curriculum to help your children, and they've been doing this for months now, and they've been preparing, and we just went through a rigorous English language arts curriculum review. We believe we have a plan. We know it's a tall order.
And this was really actually pretty interesting. Let me talk math right now. The idea, I'll give you an example that I hope will be helpful. Because math, algebra as we've known it, which has been a traditional 9th grade class, where is it moving? 8th grade.
We know it's a tall order, but I have to tell you the quality and caliber of our faculty is what will make the difference.
For the past 5 days, we've been working on developing different strategies in order to ensure that the K through 12 alignment works really well for all students. And in the first 3 days of our workshop, what we did is we looked at all of the Common Core goals, and we developed which ones were priorities, and we had enriched discussion from kindergarten all the way up through 12th grade to determine how algebra would be successful for all students. And it was really beneficial to hear kindergarten, 1st grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade.
The most meaningful thing about this is from a social studies perspective. As teachers have always taught literacy skills. That's been a part, teaching reading, teaching writing. This is going to give us an opportunity, I think, for the two disciplines to work together in an effective way. We're going to be doing the same strategies, and that's going to help the learning of the kids.
I just came from this meeting where I was sitting with middle school language arts teachers and social studies teachers, and language arts teachers were talking about the new need to address reading of nonfiction. And social studies also was talking about the same thing. And I popped in saying, and that's part of my role for research. And we realized that really the three of us became a trifecta. We all collaboratively have the same standards we need to work on. And now we have the method to do that.
We will then be creating units that the teachers will be teaching with the Common Core standards and aligning all of our curriculum pre-K 12.
I see the major benefit of the Common Core state standards in mathematics to be reflected in the mathematical practices, where we're expecting now that students will be able to form logical arguments, justify their reasoning, communicate that effectively to classmates, and engage in rich discussion about mathematics. Also being able to not just learn isolated skills, but be able to use those in modeling scenarios and just reason abstractly. In my mind, it's raising the bar across the board.
What we find is by the time you get further down the road, students are reaching higher levels of mathematics, and the mathematics that they're learning more deeply. I guess the best way to say it is the approach historically has been, well, if we want to get all students to algebra, what if we accelerate when they need to learn things? And in some sense, Common Core does that because it accelerates the algebra experience to grade 8 instead of grade 9, which is the grade level expectation. But instead of accelerating all the way through the elementary grades, what they said is, what if we just teach concepts deeper, more rigorously, to a greater level of understanding and kind of build momentum?
This work was absolutely perfect timing for us. And the first time we met with Larry, we looked at the new standards and worked on prioritizing them. And now we're creating the architecture for the design of units by ensuring that there is a unit that provides the home for instruction for each of those standards for each grade level. So on the secondary level, that's going to mean a huge amount of shift in terms of what teachers do. We're very excited about it.
In mathematics, the mantra has been for a long time across the country. This is not a West Hartford issue, this is not a Connecticut issue. This is a national issue. The mantra has been the curriculum is a mile wide and an inch deep. And work has been ongoing in that since the early 80s to how do we find focus and coherence. And that's really the point at which we've arrived. And that's the excitement of this. I mean, as a country, collectively, the best minds in mathematics were brought together to say, what is the best thing? Because there are all kinds of competing arguments on that. And they've looked out, they've looked internationally to see who are the top performing countries on the TIMSS, on the PISA, and that's what they found.
Looking at the process so far, it's been incredibly comprehensive.
We're really excited to be doing this work with Larry Ainsworth.
And I'm very excited that the Library Media Department has been involved. This is the first time that we've had this level of collaboration across grade levels, vertical teams, as well as horizontal teams, talking about curriculum. I am so happy that we are a part of this. Being a part of the whole process creates a bonding between the librarian and teachers that sets its own standard.
We have been really placing all of these new standards into the various units. And I think it's really meaningful because our students are going to be learning the skills, the standards, the material in a very natural progression. And by the end of the year, they're going to be taking and unifying all of these new standards, and they're going to be writing and reading and using technology at a level that is unprecedented.
Every curriculum leader in this district has invested themselves in this work, and now we're investing every one of your teachers in this work. So your English teachers in the month of January were sitting there 6 to 12 saying, what does this mean for us? Well, I teach that in 8th grade, and they're saying that probably should be down in 6th grade, and I'm used to teaching that novel in 9th grade, and now this is 8th grade, and really starting to talk about what that should look like. So our curriculum leaders are very invested in this work, and our teachers, we're bringing them in, because if we're talking about progression, what's important? Our teachers have to talk across the grades. I mean, we're doing what we always do in West Hartford, which is revitalizing our curriculum, modifying what needs to be modified, changing our assessment calendar, changing the kinds of things we're asking kids to do so that by 14-15, we're ready to implement those assessments. That's a short timeline. So we are really pushing our faculty, we're pushing our staff, we're pushing our principals. They know this. We're demanding a lot of them as we engage in what we call our model of continuous improvement here in West Hartford.